I was in England in 2022 when the floods of the monsoon floods and the heat waves occurred here, causing billions of dollars of damage to a country whose economy is already in shambles. And but while I was there, I noticed that the only things that I was really seeing on the news and these articles and everything was about statistics and about the numbers of people dead and how many billions of dollars of damage. But nowhere, on no news channel, on no report, on no news article, did I really see something that described the intimate, personal kind of impact that an event like this has on people. Because I think, in today's world, there's so many horrible things happening everywhere, and we get bombarded with these statistics. And I think in that we lose a bit of the humanity, and we forget that these are people just like us who are experiencing these things. So my intention with this film, with When the Floods Come, was to come back to Pakistan and travel the length of the Indus River from the glaciers in the north of the country. Pakistan has more glaciers than anywhere else on earth outside of the poles, and the people here are directly dependent on that ice and the waters that come from it for their livelihoods, and they have for thousands of years. So we followed the Indus from the north down through the Punjab, which is kind of the agricultural heart of the country, which is also 100% dependent on the Indus River, and down to Sindh, which was the most impacted area of Pakistan by the monsoon floods. And we tried to go and speak to people and show people in the most humanizing way, to show people across the world that these aren't just people, statistics. Pakistanis aren't just, people who, are on the other side of the world and are migrants and, people who are not like us. They're actually, through the stories that we tried to share of these people, we tried to show people, living in, Argentina and Japan and, the UK, that the struggles that people are going through here in Pakistan right now, we talk about climate anxiety and the fear of the future and all of that. That's happening here now. And I think by hearing the voices and the stories of the people who are going through it now, and realizing that, the dreams and the hopes of people living along the Indus River being impacted are almost the same dreams and hopes and fears and all of those things that anywhere else in the world feel. Also, the pain of losing a child, the fear of not knowing, what the future is going to look like, if you're going to be able to give a better life to your children. All of these things are deeply human, and they're what actually connect all of us together. And so, helping the people of Pakistan deal with this crisis, the point of this film was to show that helping people here in Pakistan is actually, it's not helping somebody on the other side of the world. It's helping somebody just like you. And so we're working to try to, use filmmaking and storytelling and these kind of tools to get that kind of emotion and that empathy out into the world. I'm actually starting to feel more and more optimistic about this subject, that, stories and films and changing these kinds of narratives and trying to go for people's hearts, making films and sharing the most intimate stories of people has the ability to move policymakers and people who can actually do something about this crisis. Business leaders, politicians, people who don't have the political or economic will right now. I think that the only way to get to these people is to go for the hope that there's some remaining shred of empathy and love for your fellow man and woman. That's, I think, we can have as many cops as we want. We can have as many panels in Azerbaijan and, Qatar as we want. It's only by making the people who have the possibility, the power to do something about this crisis that is like at the tipping point. It's through these stories and these ways of communicating, I think, that we can push them towards making a decision that maybe doesn't make complete economic sense, that maybe doesn't make, perfect political sense for their careers at that moment, but are the decisions that we need to make to actually shift our course a little bit to be able to, you know, survive on this planet. There are billions of people, you know, over 1 billion people reliant on the waters of these mountains where, you know, where we're sitting. And the decisions and the power to do something about saving this incredible resource that we have, that so many people are reliant on, people and beings and animals and entire ecosystems. It's through those stories that I think that we can push them towards doing the right thing.